I am really excited, and I didn't come here for the spotlight. I didn't come here to have more eyes. I came here to win. And I really do think that with the group that we have, that we are going to win. We are going to get a championship sooner.
Sophie Cunningham sits down for her first interview with the Indiana Fever, whose New Jersey game is already sold out globally. The veteran looks straight into the camera and says, "I think we're going to win a championship," when Caitlin Clark haters scramble and Fever fans cheer.
This opportunity came about. When I first heard about it, I was so excited. Like, I just knew that it was my time to get outside my comfort zone.
The Indiana Fever, who Sheryl Swoopes said no one wants to play for, have put together a squad that includes Clark Aaliyah Boston. This isn't just another roster addition. It's a message. Mitchell, Kelsey Hull, Lexi Howard, Natasha, Dananna Bonner, Sydney Carlson, and Cunningham the Enforcer have now arrived, and this interview details her exact strategy for reducing the commotion surrounding the WNBA's most-watched team. Are you prepared to let's go?
Just kind of heard what they were doing, and of course you have Caitlin, who's drawn eyes from all around the world. That was like, why would I not? Why not be a part of something great? You go from Diana, and now you're going to a team who is going to be a contender for a championship. And so I'm stoked about this year. I'm really excited for the players, but I'm also excited just for the community and the relationship and the culture that you guys have here.
Recall how the story was completely destroyed when Cheryl Brashley asserted that no one wanted to play with Caitlin Clark. As if she had personally dragged every player in the league, Swoopes stood in front of the basketball community and declared with absolute certainty that stars would be fleeing Indiana like it was on fire. Her declaration went viral on social media and on sports talk shows, serving as the rallying cry for the anti-Clark mob.
Peeps, Sheryl Swoopes is been missing. Sheryl Swoopes is MIA. They got a APB out for Sheryl Swoopes. If you see Sheryl Swoopes, she did a lot of talking a few months ago about the Indiana Fever, the locker room environment, how people didn't want to play there, how people wanted to leave.
The Indiana Fever front office was quietly putting together what may be one of the most impressive offseason rosters in recent memory, while Swoopes was busy making these claims. But this is where reality sets in. They didn't just bring in one veteran star. They brought in an entire constellation of them, all of whom had significant playoff experience. Few can equal Natasha Howard's defensive prowess as a multiple champion. After Sydney Carlson added depth and experience to the backcourt and Dananna Bonner contributed her scoring touch, Sophie Cunningham arrived.
We're going to be a phenomenal group. I'm excited for all the other pieces that came in this offseason with me. And so when I really see what I can do here, I'm confident in that, but I really am just excited for the big picture of what everyone brings to this team.
You could feel the excitement radiating through the screen when Cunningham sat down for her first interview with the Fever. This wasn't someone who had been coerced into joining a team against her will or who was terrified of playing with Caitlin Clark, the Phenom. Rather, Cunningham's excitement was evident as she explained why she chose Indiana.
Style play that you guys are playing here, that Stephanie is going to bring here, it's run and gun, it's shooters, it's emotion offense, and so my eyes lit up like a Christmas tree.
For anyone listening, this was the clearest contradiction to Swoop on his claims. The style of play especially thrilled her, perfectly matching her playing strengths. She didn't hesitate or equivocate, embracing everything about her new team, including the chance to play alongside Clark.
Played an emotion offense my whole life outside of kind of Phoenix. You know, it was more one-on-one and let people do their thing. And if you're open, you're open. Where I'm more, I like to move. I like to run. I like to dribble and kick. You know what I mean? And so when you see Caitlin, when you see Aaliyah Boston, she's a great passer. Kelsey Mitchell's a great passer. That if you move and you make the great cut, you're going to get the ball. And I think that just helps everybody, free up. And so I like to run. I kind of get the name Forrest Gump sometimes, and I'm like, hey, if you guys want to call me, that's fine. I'll beat you down the court every time. But I really am just excited for the style of play and what I can bring to the table for this team.
The way fans responded to this is what makes it even more amazing. Cunningham's shirt sold out practically right away after she arrived, which is unmistakable proof that fans are as excited about these new members of the Clarkless squad as players are about joining the Indiana Revolution.
I really am just excited about not only what I can bring to the table, but as a whole, our versatility as a team is going to be huge.
The most telling moment was when Cunningham said bluntly, "I didn't come here for the spotlight. I didn't come here to have more eyes. I came here to win." In just one sentence, she completely dismantled the anti-Clark narrative's premise. It was discovered that the notion that players would stay away from Indiana in order to avoid being overshadowed by Clark was utterly untrue.
Here, I've already been motivated. Like, I know this is a new, fresh start. I'm not in a box anymore. Like, I can finally be free and be in an offense that I think that I can really thrive in and be around players who our mind is strictly on basketball and winning. So I'm just remotivated. I'm refocused. I feel like I'm back, to be honest. I got a nice tan and that always makes me feel good too. And so being here, honestly, it just makes me want to work even harder than what I've been doing.
Rather, Cunningham clarified that serious players of championship caliber see something emerging in Indiana. They see a young superstar with generational talent. They see Aaliyah Boston growing into a powerful force. They see Kelsey Mitchell's ability to score goals. They see Lexi Hall's hustle, and they see a chance to create something unique. This wasn't a last-minute arrival. This wasn't someone making the most of a difficult circumstance. In her very first interview, this seasoned veteran player, who was thrilled about Indiana, praised her new teammate and openly stated her expectations for the championship. You couldn't script a more flawless reputation of Swoop's claims if you tried.
I am just so excited to be here. I'm from the Midwest, and so for me to kind of get back to my roots and be close to my family, I'm so excited. Like, when I say that I am refreshed and I am motivated and I just like kind of feel like my spark is back. Everyone thinks I've been feisty. You've not even seen the feisty side of me yet, so this should be really fun. But for me, I'm excited to be closer to home. I'm excited to deep dive into the community of Indiana. I've already met a lot of really cool people. I'm excited to inspire the next generation of young boys and girls around here, get to know the community more.
When Cunningham speaks of Indiana, she doesn't sound like someone who is coerced into joining against her will. Rather, she sounds like someone who has discovered her basketball home, a place where her abilities, character, and aspirations for championship all mesh flawlessly. Remember all those cheap shots Clark took as a rookie with hardly any response from teammates. The Chicago Sky's Kennedy Carter incident was just the beginning of what turned out to be an open season on the league's best player. Caitlin Clark found something she desperately needed last season: a bodyguard.
And Clark. I mean, that's clearly a foul, which was called. The question is, will they call it unnecessary? Kennedy Carter.
As Clark repeatedly picked herself up off the floor following hard fouls, egregious contact, and needless physicality during her rookie season, opponents soon realized that no enforcer was there to hold them accountable for pursuing Indiana's franchise player. The team, which was full of young talent but lacked veteran muscle, could only watch as their superstar survived collision after collision.
But sassy sometimes, which people don't like, but I love. My teammates always love. And to be honest, I spread the court. Like, I can shoot the ball. And when you have playmakers who are quick, who are great passers, with Kelsey Mitchell too, it lets them do their thing. And then the defense draws in and you're just ready to shoot. And so, I think that I'll bring a lot to this team. But at the end of the day, I want to be a good leader. I want to be a great teammate. I want to bring the culture piece and make sure our egos are put aside and that we're all in here to win. And I think that's going to be pretty easy with the group that we have.
Enter the most well-known agitator in the WNBA, Sophie Cunningham, is exactly what Clark has been lacking. When Sophie describes herself as sassy on the court, that's putting it mildly. Opponents know exactly what they're getting: a player who thrives in confrontation and defends her teammates like family. Cunningham isn't just traveling to Indiana to shoot threes. She's bringing her reputation as one of the league's fiercest competitors who won't hesitate to get in someone's face.
I'm just excited to kind of maybe be that calm piece when it needs to be calm, that feisty, sassy, stick up for my teammates when it needs to be that. And so just kind of reading the room and, whatever the team needs that day, being able to provide.
I'm going to defend my teammates. In her initial interview with Indiana, Cunningham stated, "I'm a fierce competitor. I want to win, and I hate to lose that mindset." This attitude turns the Fever from an exciting but pushover squad into one that opponents will be reluctant to play with.
When it comes to being on the court, I really am. I'm spicy, I'm fiery, I'm the ultimate competitor, and I'm really just trying to do whatever it takes for my team to win. A lot of people have a lot to say about it, but honestly, any teammate that you've asked that maybe had opinions about me before, once we're teammates, like, oh, like, we love you as a team. I'm like, duh, I'm not a mean person. But to be honest, I think that it could be a game changer. You know what I mean? And I'm going to hit my threes. I'm going to do all that. But just from a young age, my parents were like, go be the hardest worker. Don't let anyone outwork you, but also enjoy it. Like, you work your tail off. So when it's time to play a game, go laugh, go smile, go yell if you want to, go be passionate.
What makes Cunningham so ideal? When Clark is running the break, Cunningham will be right there with her. Not only as a shooting option, but also as a physical presence ready to challenge anyone who tries to impede the Fever's offensive engine. Clark's relentless motor, which she nicknamed Forrest Gump because she literally outruns opponents on both ends of the floor, is what makes her a protector of teammates.
I learned so much out in Phoenix. I was really blessed to have some really great teammates. You get to learn from the GOAT, Diana Taurasi. You've had a lot of people going in and out of that program. They've won championships, and so there's just a lot to learn. And
during her time in Phoenix, Cunningham learned about toughness from the WNBA's top player, Diana Taurasi, who also taught Sophie basketball skills that cannot be learned through workouts. Taurasi demonstrated to her that having a championship mindset calls for more than just skill. It also calls for an advantage and the readiness to go above and beyond to win, even if it means getting under the opponent's skin or taking a hard foul to make a point.
We'll say I'm 3-and-D, which I've never really considered myself a defensive player, but I think the past couple of years, I have been. I've been able to get my body right. I've been able to bang down low and hold my own. And so I just think when you can get players who are versatile on not only the offensive end, but the defensive end, that's where you win your championships. That's where you make a statement. And so I'm excited to kind of get down and start working hard on the defensive end. I think as a team, we all have to kind of have that mentality, especially if we're trying to get to where we want to go.
Cunningham's defensive versatility is what really makes her stand out. At 6 feet 1 inch, she can legitimately guard positions 1 through 4, which gives Indiana's defense several benefits. She also has quick feet and a good basketball IQ. When opponents attempt to establish screens to seek Clark on defense, they can switch freely without causing inconsistencies. Cunningham can do the riskier task with ease, saving Clark from the physical strain of protecting more powerful players.
Length causes some issues sometimes. With the bigger people, I can get into their knees just because I kind of have that strength. But for me, I think that's an area where I could actually improve on. Like, it's funny to me that people are like, oh, she can play some defense. I'm like, oh, I mean, I struggle with that. I know Stephanie White's going to be on me about, getting better in that area. But for me, that's an exciting thing. A big shot is a great energizer. A great pass is a great energizer. But when you can get 3 stops in a row and you get the crowd into it and you frustrate the other team, like, that's the toughest stuff that I like.
When the Fever's front office acquired Cunningham, they not only improved shooting, but also addressed their biggest weakness from the previous campaign. The days of teams freely running at Clark are over. This season, for the first time, an opponent will give them a cheap shot, and they will have to contend with a player who has built a career out of refusing to back down from anyone.
It's okay to be a girl, but also go out there and kind of have a feisty mentality, and it's okay to sweat, and it's okay to yell and kind of, have that grit about you. And so I've never had to try. It's just kind of who I am. And so I'm excited to kind of bring that energy to this arena.
When Sophie Cunningham said, "I can finally be free and be in an offense that I think I can really thrive in," she wasn't just discussing basketball systems. She was also revealing what appears to be a fractured Phoenix Mercury locker room that had been holding her back. Her incisive remarks about feeling free in Indiana reveal a deeper story that no one has been discussing.
But I promise you that I'm just ready to win. I'm ready to win. I'm ready for y'all to be there. But like I said, you guys haven't even seen feisty yet.
However, Sophie's incisive remark about wanting teammates whose only focus is on basketball and winning, which wasn't a cliche, rather, it was a direct shot at the predicament she left behind reading between the lines, was the most telling aspect of her interview, not defensive tactics or shooting percentages. Sophie is depicting a Phoenix squad that is more preoccupied with personal goals and official court drama than with hopes of winning a championship.
To kind of come into something that's refreshing, that people's minds are just wanting to win, people are willing to work hard. It's a younger group. And so to me, that's refreshing. And now you just have to put all the puzzle pieces together, but you need someone to do that. And so I do know that I'm not old, but I'm also not young. So I'm kind of in that middle group. I still have a lot to learn, and I want to be a sponge. I want to continue to learn and continue to grow. But I also think that I had Diana to take me under her wing. And who better else to teach you the ropes in the W than Diana Taurasi? And so for me to come in here knowing what I've been taught, I kind of want to spread it around, especially with how talented this group is.
Sophie's tenacity isn't the only thing that makes her so vital to the Fever. She also got the championship attitude from playing with Diana Taurasi. I want to contribute to the culture, be a fantastic team player, and be a wonderful leader. In her interview, Sophie clarified that she is not only bringing jump shots to Indiana, but also the winning mentality that made the Mercury a consistent competitor.
It is huge to have those relationships with not only your coaching staff, but with every single teammate. You don't have to be best friends, but you have to have each other's backs and you have to get along. And I think that's something that I love is the culture, because we're going to win games, we're going to lose games, hopefully not too many, but you're going to remember these types of moments. And so if you can really get to know and get that chemistry off the court and know your teammates, how they tick, what doesn't make them tick, I just think that's just a recipe for success on the court.
This knowledge of fostering culture is precisely what the youthful Fever squad needs. By delivering a model for success that has been tried and tested at the top levels of the WNBA, Sophie's vision for Indiana's team environment, where connections count and egos don't, is the ideal complement to Clark's talent and Boston's potential.
There's more eyes on the W more than ever. There's more eyes around the world on this team more than any team, I think, in the whole entire world. And so I think just like embracing it, but making sure that we stay tight knit. I'm a very big culture and relationship type of person. And so I think there's going to be a lot of noise, but if this culture right here in this locker room can be good, I think we're going to be all right.
Many fans are unaware that Sophie has media savvy that goes beyond the court. Her background as a Phoenix Suns analyst has given her the confidence to interact with cameras and use media, which is essential in today's sports environment where visibility creates opportunity. Her background makes her especially valuable to a Fever organization trying to make the most of its newly acquired highlights.
How valuable is that experience that you have that not only you bring, but Dawana brings, Natasha brings, Sydney brings? There's a ton of playoff experience coming in here.
It's huge. And I think any player that you talk to around the league is you can have the best team, but if you don't have playoff experience, that other team is going to win the majority of the time. And
most significantly, Sophie contributes playoff knowledge to a team eager for postseason success. Having played in 15 playoff games, including a finals appearance, Sophie knows what it takes to be the best team under pressure. But without playoff experience, the other team will win most of the time. Sophie made it apparent in her interview. This viewpoint is crucial for a young Indiana squad hoping to win a championship.
I think they were really smart about bringing people who are experienced that. They know that we have the firepower to get there, but now you need the experience and the knowledge and sometimes just like the calmness of how to kind of adjust through playoffs and the mindset, because it is a different beast. You can have a great regular season, but when it comes to playoffs, it's a shift, right? And if you've never been there, you don't know.
The lessons of leadership Cunningham discovered that Taurasi, who is regarded as one of the most intense players in women's basketball history, is now present in the locker room at Indiana, BY emphasizing basketball concentration and removing controversy. Sophie is not just talking about winning, but also promoting the mental toughness and unwavering standards that championship teams need on a daily basis. She is establishing the ideal environment for the development of championship cultures.